You're one of the few people that tells the truth like the American people feel and talk and think on television that I ever see, telling the truth. And I'm trying to say the same thing in Congress, but yet we're the ones that are supposed to be for Putin. I don't think so. You know who's for China is the Biden administration and the idiots that I work with in Congress that are leading us into World War III and going to hurt America like never before.
Except that you are for Putin when you want the United States to do nothing to stop Russia from spreading communism and taking over Ukraine. But Tucker Carlson is not a truth teller. He admits it himself in part of a text chain, part of a $1.6 billion lawsuit against him and other Fox News hosts, where he claims that it was, quote, shockingly reckless to claim that Dominion voting systems rigged the 2020 election. But let's go back to that video because Marjorie Taylor Greene shockingly comes up with a good idea, but for the wrong reasons. Take a look.
Well, I'll be introducing a resolution of inquiry on Friday, actually, tomorrow. And this is something I introduced in the previous Congress. Every single Republican, including Mike McCall, voted in favor for it. So I'll be introducing that on Friday. Let me tell you what it's going to do. It's going to force Congress to give the American people an audit. And that is exactly what the American people need, an audit of Ukraine, because we have no idea where all this money's going. I mean, we know that it's paying for pensions for Ukrainian leaders and people in their government, while people in East Palestine are suffering from basically a nuclear bomb that exploded in their city.
First off, East Palestine wasn't nukes. A train derailed, spilling toxic chemicals into the environment, brought about by deregulation under the Trump administration, only made worse by the inadequate government response by Pete Buttigieg under the Biden administration. I would know. I only live an hour away from the crash site. Second off, I think we should do a government audit. But why stop at only the $45 billion that we recently sent to Ukraine? We should do an entire government audit of our $858 billion loaded defense budget. But no, I'll be shocked if Republicans agree with woke leftists' call to decrease military spending, because Republicans like Marjorie Taylor Greene only have a problem with military spending when it's politically advantageous for them to be anti-war. Here's more of that clip.
We know that our American dollars are paying for aid in Russia, in Ukraine, but we don't know where that's going. So I'm introducing this resolution, and I'm looking forward to seeing my Republican colleagues support it.
Yeah, they're just looting the U.S. Treasury. I mean, obviously, that's what they're doing.
Well, by your logic then, Tucker, you ought to be outraged at the $858 billion bloated defense budget that we have for 2023. I personally think that we ought to reallocate at least $1 to $2 billion of our military spending to funding education, fixing our infrastructure, ending homelessness. Did y'all know that the United States in 2021 spent more on our military budget than almost 10 other countries combined? Why is it then, Marjorie Taylor Greene and Tucker Carlson, that y'all are only concerned with military spending when it comes to fighting Russian communism and the invasion of a whole nother country like Ukraine? Why is that? Because fools like Marjorie Taylor Greene and Tucker Carlson are not anti-war. They will aid and abet war whenever it comes to anyone, especially brown people, as you'll see in this next clip. Take a look.
They came across the border and shot a baby in the face that was, the child of one of these things up in California. And it's like, wait, the cartels are committing crimes on American soil and we're just sitting back and like, oh, it's not really a problem. Like,
right.
In total, Marjorie Taylor Greene and Tucker Carlson's faux populist concern about being anti-war is such a joke, because when it comes to actually decreasing the military budget, they won't do it out of fears of being unpatriotic. And they only want to decrease military spending when it comes to fighting Russian communism toward another country. They only care about war when it comes to white people. They are like, oh, well, we'll be super pro-war if it's towards brown people and immigrants, or towards the trans community, for heaven's sake. It's all so hollow. Don't fall for it. And that is all I have for you today on The Breakdown. Thank you for joining me. My name is Scott Johnson. You can find more of me on my TikTok in the description below, and on my YouTube. That is where I post my longer form content. It's pretty awesome. You should totally go take a look. Also go look at my link tree. It's pretty awesome. And most importantly, do not forget to smash subscribe to The Breakdown. You can see more from independent creators like me. You should totally binge watch these videos. They're pretty awesome.